This is the strategy that works. We've been doing this for the last 3.5 years, and it's going to get the most levels of engagement.
Because I say it respectfully. It's time to eat up, right like a speeder, taking it deeper, and that's how it better be. I never let the comparison get to me. I just remember the promises meant for me. I know the enemy and that he's sent for me. I keep the blood of the lemons my centerpiece. I cannot trust in no crystals or energy. Look at the chemistry, it do not even mix chemically. Most of the tricks they be gimmicks, they mimic the truth. It's poison and we got the remedy.
Sure. And what we're looking for is people that are hungry, wanting to hustle, wanting to break through walls, wanting to go after that legendary status.
Show me the chicken, I'm frying it. They say you ain't about it. Tell them that you finna make it, but they doubt it. But you rose like the flower. Tell me what it's like to live with superpowers. I don't know, but I'ma get it. I'ma get it. I'ma get it. I'ma get it. I just know that I'ma get it. I'ma get it. I'ma get it. I'ma get it. I'ma get it.
What's up, guys? I'm Kyle Milan. It's Tuesday. What does that mean? It's time to talk about some industrial and manufacturing marketing. Today's going to be a fun show because a lot of you guys aren't doing what this topic is about, and this is how you're going to stand out. For those of you that are new to the content, I've got a YouTube channel, over 1,500 videos on it, all talking about industrial sales, industrial marketing, manufacturing marketing, everything you guys can do, whether you want to do it on your own, whether you have a team, you have the resources internally, or if you're looking for an agency, MFG Tribe is where it's at, the leading industrial sales and marketing agency out there. But head over to YouTube, learn the content, share it with someone you know, subscribe, turn on notifications. If you guys want to listen to this in podcast form, every major private, can't even talk today. It's been like a week. Every major podcast platform we're on, you just type in industrial sales and marketing with me, and you can listen to this while you do other things. If we're not connected on not connected on YouTube. If we're not connected on LinkedIn, send me a connection request or a follow. We go live every Tuesday, talk about industrial marketing. And on Thursdays, twice a month, we talk about sales. We're going live this Thursday to talk about sales. Anybody know what the topic is? Topic is lead generation for manufacturing salespeople, lead generation. So be sure to subscribe to that. Check out my events and just say, hey, I want to attend that too. That's going to be me and Alex going back and forth, talking about lead generation for industrial manufacturing companies, bringing you guys some tips, some values, some things that you can implement today. And that's what we're going to talk about. I want you guys to take notes, comment. We're going to go through the content, take a short break, hit you with some video that'll make you smile and think that it's dope. Then we'll come back and answer all those comments live on the platform. It could be about anything. It doesn't have to be about this subject. I'll answer anything. But let's get into today's topic. Today's topic is hosting live events. Had to look down at my notes. Hosting live events for LinkedIn and other platforms. If you guys are currently doing live events, I want you to put a comment in the comment section and tell me what's your frequency, what are you using, what are you guys getting the most value of. I'm going to show you what we're doing for ourselves and for our clients, but I want to know from you guys, are you interested in this topic? Are you guys doing something that's working or not? So changing up the set deck a little bit. Already got my notes up on the board so you guys can see the topics that we're going to talk about. A little bit of giving away some peeking behind the curtain to see Oz at his best. Riley liked that one. All right, when were we at NPE? Was that last week or the week before? No, that was 2 weeks ago. Okay, so we went live last week. Okay. All right, so I don't have to say like, hey, I came back from NPE. Guys, since we go live and push out so much content, a lot of it can get missed. If you want to watch this on replay, or if you are watching this on replay, the best place to do it is on the YouTube channel because it's very easy to get to, whereas LinkedIn, this stuff is just going to get buried. So let's talk about choosing your niche, which is somewhere up here. That's the first bullet point. So with your niche, and I don't necessarily mean your niche of like, what is it that you guys do, right? It's not like, well, we sell this service to this industry or this specific group of companies. I mean, like when you're talking about live show content, what is your niche? Obviously, the niche that I'm in is in industrial marketing, right? But what's your niche? Can you think about what can you talk about on any sort of consistent, regular basis and use this platform to amplify that voice? That's what you have to think about. And it can't be forced. It can't be like, I'm going to chat GPT this, or I'm going to do a lot of research before I present. Like, this has to be somewhat natural and flowy. The bullet points that you see up there are the bullet points that are on my notepad in front of me. And I just pull up the bullet point and talk about it. It comes off very natural and flows nicely. And it's easier for people to edit post show to be able to chop up into more content. But start with the niche. Maybe your niche is like, you know everything about a specific service that you guys offer. And it could be something like you're in plastics and you know everything about injection molding. You're a CNC machining expert. You know how to set up, how to program, how to work through difficult materials, exotic metals, things like that. Like, oh, if you guys are looking to machine titanium or anything super hard like that, I'm your guy. I'm going to show you how to do it. And then you create an entire live show around it where each week or bi-weekly or maybe even monthly to start, you're like, I'm going to go live and talk about what did I do in the last 2 weeks in this specific niche of like machining titanium. What are some issues I've dealt with? Maybe your setup is in front of the machine, or you're back in the office and you've got some parts displayed out. And you're going to talk through like, hey guys, these are the issues I ran into. And your target demographic are other people machining, product design, development engineers, design engineers, things like that. So you got to think like, who am I trying to provide value to? That's number one. Your live show has to provide some sort of value, otherwise nobody's going to watch it. It's like all about entertainment and education. If you can combine the two together, then you can start to get some movement and you can start to provide people with both of those things at the same time, which we try and do here with a little bit of entertainment. Then people are going to be more likely to watch your content and stay on it longer. So your retention rate, once you do go live, is going to be stickier if you're educating and also entertaining. So think, who am I trying to provide value to? Number one, oh, it's going to be product development engineers. And what am I an expert at? What could I talk about easily, or what could I present to people on a consistent basis? It's going to be DFM analysis or design for manufacturability, or it's going to be product development, or it's going to be processing different materials, or it's going to be material science or steel. Or maybe you're like, hey, I work, we had a client, the guy was so smart. They were a machine shop, and he followed all of the trends from an economic standpoint with pricing of steel and deliverables and force majeure that's going on and all these different things. And he tracked that stuff. He was an expert in that. He could go live once every 2 weeks and talk about what's going on in the economy as far as the availability of different types of steel. This is going back a couple of years when things were tough, and they still are tough. It's not like it's just flowing through and prices aren't all over the place. But that was his kind of hobby and his expertise. Now, he's an expert in many other areas with machining, in particular heavy machining, like big parts. But he tracked that so closely and he posted content on it and got a lot of engagement. If he was to go live and work through the graphs and the charts for the last 2 weeks or last month of forecasting, or here's where everything's looking at, he'd get a lot of people that pay attention. So he would be more of like a news source to educate people on what's the current state of this. So you just have to think to yourself, again, who am I trying to provide value to, and what do I know that I can easily go through to where you're not like forcing yourself into it, to where you're not having to do so much prep work and research to go into the topic before you then do choose to go live. Because what's going to end up happening is you're going to push this on the back burner. So you're going to say, I don't want to do it. I don't have time. This has become more of an inconvenience, less fun for me. It's more work. It's like another job. You don't want it to be like that. You want it to be fun, as little prep time as possible. But the first step is choose your niche. The second step, number 2, is going to be equipment. What do you guys need for equipment? So you can do this with your phone. Now, one thing to keep in mind with video, and I've said this before, and it's no different than with a live, audio is most important in video. It's not the actual video. You have to make sure that your audio is good. So the first step is LinkedIn. If you want to go LinkedIn Live, it requires a third-party software. The one that we use is called StreamYard. Maybe Laura can put it in the comment section, which she will, or Riley. StreamYard is a software. It costs us like $50 a month. With that software, we can publish our lives and go live on multiple platforms at the same time. Here's something to note, specifically on LinkedIn. You can either go live on a company page or you can go live on a personal page. You cannot do both things at once. They only allow one platform to go live. Now, Laura, on YouTube, can you do two different channels at the same time? So on YouTube, you can do two different channels at the same time. So you can go live on two different channels, whereas LinkedIn says, dude, you got to pick one, either your personal profile or the company page. In order to get that set up, you just go into the back end of your personal profile and say, I want to turn on creator. And you can Google search it to see the exact settings, but you're basically turning on the creator mode, and then that allows you to do LinkedIn Live. Same thing on your company page. You can turn that on in settings for you to be able to go live, and you should test it out. Maybe sometimes you want to go live on the company page because you have a lot of followers and it's going to be more polished content with executives or a salesperson. And then on your personal stuff, you're doing something more fun. Maybe you do it from your house, your home office, on the road, etc. But you don't need much to get started. So with StreamYard, $50 a month, you log into it, you connect your LinkedIn profile, LinkedIn company page, YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, whatever. And no, Instagram you can't. You have to go live, I think, directly on the platform. But specifically LinkedIn and YouTube for you guys out there in industrial, this is going to be the area that you want to focus on. So use StreamYard, connect your stuff. Now you can just grab your phone, log into StreamYard, schedule the event, go live, and you can do it all from your phone. If you're going to do it from your phone, then I would recommend getting some sort of Bluetooth audio for your phone. They're like 20, 30, $40. You can get nice ones, $150. Plugs into your phone, clip it to yourself, so that way you have clean audio and you don't have to worry about cords, cables, or distance from the camera. And you can just set this up on a tripod and just go live that way. I did it when we were doing the Hot Ones challenge. I was walking around the office. I went live to show people behind the scenes. It ended up being like an hour-long live, but I just grabbed a tripod, hooked it up to my phone, went live through StreamYard, through the platform, just through a browser, and went live. And it was fun because I was able to move around and like put it in front of some person's desk. But point being, you don't need much. Now you can go fancy and you can have a DSLR camera with an HDMI going into a Blackmagic. That's a Blackmagic, right? The Blackmagic switcher box that then goes into a computer, and you can have different microphones, different cameras, multiple things set up. You can go fancy like that, but for those of you just starting off, just do it from your phone. It's super easy. You can do it from your computer. So years and years and years ago, probably 4 or 5 years ago, the first time I went live, I did it from my computer with a webcam. So I just had a webcam, an external webcam on top of my computer. It was a high definition webcam. It was the HP, I think it was the C290. Just plugged it in, went live like that. For the audio, I just used my computer microphone. Wasn't the best, but got the point across. So you don't have to be hindered by the software or hindered by the equipment that you need. You can go live on anything. We were at an event last summer for machining, and I went live from my phone on that event on that company's page. So I just went live from my phone on the company's LinkedIn page, was filming behind the scenes footage, did not pre-publish it saying we're going to go live at this time. I just did it. People got notified that we're following the company page. You start to get some engagement. You can respond directly to the comments from in the platform, just like we're doing with our system. But it's all done through a $50 a month software. There's other ones out there. StreamYard is, we've looked at most of them. I think the easiest to use, the best features. It's quick. You can record it in the cloud. You can also record it directly to the camera. You can have two different, or no, not directly to the camera. It's only in the cloud and in the stream. But you can have a second recording of it if you want, to where it says this is stored to my computer, and then you've got the one recording that's recorded on LinkedIn and on YouTube. But it's very simple to do. So you have to first pick your niche, determine your audience and what you're going to say, get yourself set up with some simple software. Laura let me know before the show that StreamYard, you can get it for free. It's just going to have the watermark for it. So $50 to remove the watermark, probably some additional features come with that. If not, you can just do it for free to try it out. That's all it's about. Connect it to LinkedIn. And here's the cool thing. You schedule it through StreamYard. Then once you schedule it, it pushes it live onto LinkedIn and YouTube and schedules it next week on Tuesday, next week on Thursday, whatever it is. You can change the thumbnail, put a description, all of that stuff directly through StreamYard. Then you push it live. Let's talk about number 3. So creating the show. So we already talked about in point one, who are you trying to provide value to, and what can you possibly talk about? Now the show has to have some sort of consistency, whether it's once a month to start, once every 2 weeks, every Wednesday. You got to have consistency so that way you can continue to push it out there and market it to people, and they start to remember, like, oh yeah, he goes live every Wednesday at noon, every Thursday at 2, or on the evening commute home. That's his thing, right? Somebody has some sort of like gimmick where they're like, I'm going to talk to you while you guys drive home, for those of you that aren't working remote. But you have to create the show. And then once you create the show in advance, now it's time to invite your LinkedIn connections. Maybe a lot of you have received a connection to watch this live from me or somebody on my team. But that's the step, is that you can invite people to the live. So once you set up the live, you go into LinkedIn and you click share, and then you click invite. And from there, you can either pick it based on company, the people, searching for people's specific names, industries that they're in, company size, etc. You have a couple of filters. You filter that out and you say, here's my list, and maybe there's 500 people. You scroll through, you can select all of them, you can select individual ones. Once you have your list built up, you click invite, and then you'll probably get an error. And I'm warning you in advance, you're going to click invite if it's over like 100 people. Error in the bottom left-hand corner. It's going to say something went wrong. Hit the X on that, go back to the window that you're in, hit invite again. Usually it goes through. Sometimes I've had to hit it 4, 5, 6 times. It's like a glitch with LinkedIn where it's like, nope, we don't want to invite 500 people to this live. So they keep on throwing errors, but eventually it goes through. Here's the thing to note. Anybody that is attending a live on LinkedIn can invite 1,000 people a week. Let me repeat that. You can invite 1,000 different people every single week to a live. So if I'm doing a live and Riley says he's attending, and Laura and 7 other people at the company say they're attending, they all have the ability now to invite up to 1,000 LinkedIn connections every single week to that live, right? So if the live is in a month, because we're going to do one big event, no lives until then. So you guys are going to set up one event, it's in 30 days. Can you schedule 30 days in advance, Laura?
I think they just added a feature where it used to be 1 week in advance.
Yeah.
I think you can do further ahead now.
So you could probably do a couple weeks in advance. It used to be 1 week, but it looks like it's a couple weeks in advance now. You say, in 3 weeks, I'm going to do this. 2 weeks, I'm going to do this. And then each week, you get up to 1,000 invites. And anybody that's attending, any of your coworkers, any of your employees, any of your friends, etc. And what you want to do is invite people to it, because nobody's going to go to live if they don't know what's going on. And sometimes, depending on the time of it, people are just busy. We've had lives where we get 10 people that show up, 5 people that show up during the live, but then the replay stats are like through the roof. We've had other lives where we've had, what's the most, like 100 and something people live watching it for like 20 minutes, 30, 40 minutes the whole time. High levels of engagement. Depends on the day and the time. You're not going to get it right for everybody. But the key is, when you're creating the show, you created it, now you want to get eyes on it, you have to invite people to start. Then as you continue to build up the platform, then you can invite people less, and then you just post it, and then LinkedIn will take over and say, ooh, hey everybody, this person's doing this live, do you want to check it out? And they'll send the notification through on their own. But you want to try and invite, we still to this day, we've done, 90 lives, 95 lives. We still to this day invite people every single week. It just depends on how many people are inviting. But the key is that we're trying to push it out there to get it in front of new people. So setting it up, inviting connections, and having some sort of schedule. I would say 1,000% it will provide value to you if you do this. You will gain new friends and connections, build out your network, provide value to somebody, and it'll end up resulting in opportunities in the long run. But just go into it and say, hey, I know a lot of things about this subject. I want to provide as much value as possible. I'm going to start doing this. I'm going to do it once a month or once every 2 weeks for 3 months. So just give it 90 days. Just do 3 of them. If you don't feel like you got enough value for 20, 30 minutes, an hour of your time, then stop doing it. But you have to put in the effort and say, create the event, invite the connections. No different than on your company page. If you're doing it on your personal profile or your company page, you can still invite up to 1,000 connections per week per person that is attending. But you got to have some structure to it. Number 4, go live. What does it say up there? I can't read it. Say go live. Go live. So go live. that could be the scariest point in the part for some of you guys where it's like, oh my God, I'm going to be live on LinkedIn and YouTube. My friends are going to see me, my ex-coworkers and whatever. Honestly, who cares? Throw that anxiety out the window. You're going to feel a little anxious the first time, but really who cares what you look like? What's your outfit? What's your set like? Is the quality going to be good? Nobody cares. Leaving yourself vulnerable and putting yourself out there, you will get support from anybody that sees your stuff. You're not going to get haters that are like, I could barely hear you. This sucked. The lighting was off. The camera was bad. People are going to be like applauding you for at least doing it. And the key is that if you look at everybody else in your space, this is how you're going to stand out. This is how you're going to stand out to get attention, is being different than everybody else. If you want to be a thought leader, the leader in your specific niche, you have to do something different. Podcasting, everybody's doing it. Recorded podcasts. That stuff is so old. Doing lives, though, unscripted, where you're just engaging with your community, engaging with your network, you're providing them something of value and being like, hey, you guys got comments, put them in the comment section, and then engaging back with them. Sometimes you'll get 100 comments, sometimes you'll get none. If you get none, then you move on and then check the replay, though, because that post will get additional comments that you'll get notified about. So if at the end of this live, we're going to have, let's say we have no comments. If somebody comments in a day or 3 days or a week, I'm going to get notified. I can go back in and respond to their comment because we're not live anymore, right? So they're just watching the replay. So the scariest part can be click go live, but it is so easy. Once you do it once or twice, you're going to start to feel more and more confident. You've got to build that muscle memory and that repetition. So start with like, hey, what are 3 topics that I could talk about confidently? And you don't have to focus at staring at the camera. I just know how to do it because we've been doing it for 5 years. You can look around if you need to, or look down at your notes, or work through whatever you need to work through. But what are 3 topics that I can confidently speak about for 10, 20, 30 minutes and just do it? The other aspect of it is like, get creative with it. Go live at a trade show. Go live at an event. Get behind the scenes at your shop. Don't just go live in a setting where it's like in an office or in a bedroom where you've got set up as your office. Like, go live on the shop floor. Do it from your phone. Even if it's a little shaky, nobody cares. You're like giving them the raw behind the scenes footage. It doesn't have to be that structured. You can get more structured as you get attention. You see, like, the attention will give you the confidence. It'll give you the validation that, like, hey, I produced this piece of content. One person liked it, so I'm going to produce more for that person to like more, and maybe I'll get more engagement in the future. The more engagement you get, the more structure you can get with it. It'll give you that confidence and give you that validation that, like, what you're doing is working. You're providing something of value, so I want to keep doing it more. And that's when you can start to change up the show, change up the setting, the background, the people on the show. Maybe you bring in different people that you work with. Maybe you bring in guests. So many different ways to skin it, but the key is you have to hit go live first. And the last point we're going to talk about is the content repurposing. So you go live for 20 minutes. If you wanted to, whether you have an agency or you do it internally, you take that 20-minute live and you can chop it into 10 to 20 different short pieces of content. You want to take those short pieces of content in vertical format, and you want to drip them out every day, every week, twice a week, whatever the schedule is, for 2, 3, 6, 8, 12 weeks. And then the next time you go live on a show, you do the same thing. So with the long form content, you can create short content from it. Again, if you have the resources internally, great. If you're doing it on your own, it's easy to do with the systems that are out there these days. Just whether it's like CapCut, you can even do it on like iMovie. You don't have to have like the Adobe Premiere Pro suite and like the team that we have here. And then Lara just told me that in StreamYard, you can do your own clipping and create shorts from it. And that's awesome. So is it more than 50, do you think? Yeah, it might be a little bit more than 50, but StreamYard's affordable. So you can even do it within the platform. You don't have to go outside of the platform. You just log in, look at the content that you shot that was recorded, start chopping it up. That's how you're going to get more attention. But the key is create that long form piece of content, chop it up into micro pieces of content, post them on LinkedIn, post them on YouTube as shorts. That's going to be the key. So let's go through it one more time. Number 1, pick your niche. Who can you provide value to? And what can you talk about that's going to provide them with that value? Number 2, software, equipment does not matter. At a minimum, get StreamYard. You can do the free version, or you can do the paid version of $50 or more per month. You don't need fancy cameras. Most important is going to be audio quality. So you could use your phone, grab a Bluetooth mic, plug it in, plug plug the receiver into your phone, the other side onto you, and just talk. Number 3, we're talking about creating the show. What is the show going to be about? What's the cadence? What's the look and feel going to be? What are you going to talk about? How long are you going to go? What's your structure going to be? Then you need to invite connections on LinkedIn. Once you schedule it through StreamYard, then you can go into LinkedIn and invite connections to it. 1,000 people per week per person that's attending. You got a team of 10 people behind you. You got 5 sales guys, 3 marketing people, whatever it is. Hey guys, I just scheduled my live. I invited people. You go do the same. Get more attention. You want to get as many people that are saying, I'm going to attend. Even if you have 150 people say, I'm going to attend, and you have 2 people show up, does not matter. They will get notified when the live gets live. They'll notify when the replay is available so they could still watch it. Number 4, click the button, go live. Don't worry about it. You don't have to have a bumper, a trailer, a show break, or anything like that. Just click go live and just do it. Promise you it'll be worth your time. And the last but certainly not least, repurpose that content long form into short form. Do it through StreamYard, do it through iMovie, CapCut, do it through Splice is another system, Adobe Premiere Pro, anything like that, chop it up. The key is going to be drip out that content once or twice a week, depending on the cadence of your show, through vertical format shorts on LinkedIn and YouTube shorts, get more attention around it. You don't have to put a lot of effort into it. You're just saying, hey, here was a good point over a minute. I want to capture this, export it, post it. That's how you do it. We're going to take a quick break. We'll be back to answer any comments or questions you guys have. We'll be right back.
Ding dong, they just think they are. Another little wannabe gangster trying to play hard. Ding dong, they just think they are. Another little wannabe gangster trying to play hard.
The former long drive champion, UTSA, 2019. You better watch out.
Smoke up, that's in the blem. Free up the guys in
I did do it. Video it. Notebook.
On them with the tips on 10. Batch in the back that's on tap, all ready to go and jump in.
All right, guys, day 2. We're in the South Hall of NPE 2024. Ran into a bunch of old friends, some people I haven't talked to in 10, 15 years, and they're here at the show, and it's like nothing ever changed. So I highly urge you guys to get out there and network, even if you just go and walk a show, to meet people and hang out with them, go to their networking events, go to their happy hours. That's what it's all about, making connections, keeping those connections, results in business and long-term friendships.
All right, guys, we're back. Hopefully you liked that day 1. Was that day 1? Day 2 recap from NPE 2 weeks ago. We shot content during the day, had a lot of fun, good conversations, met with customers, met with prospects, and then Riley went back to the house with us at night and edited that thing, and we posted it. I probably posted it like 9 o'clock, 10 o'clock at night. Got a lot of attention around it. Let's jump into any comments we have. If there's not any comments, I'm going to go up upon about my day. What in the heck? And eat some food. What do we got?
Tim Drinkwater says, thoughts on having 2 niches and alternating between them?
Tim Drinkwater, 2 niches. I have 2 niches, industrial sales, industrial marketing. I do one show on Tuesdays, the industrial sales side, because I bring in Alex first Thursday, and I think it's the 3rd Thursday of the month. So you can do 2 different niches. You just want to split those out into 2 different shows. You can do maybe one niche on the 2nd week of the month, one niche on the 4th week, or just 2 different days, Tuesday, Thursday, Monday, Wednesday, whatever you want to do. I typically try and avoid Mondays and Fridays. Mondays, people are busy getting the week started. Fridays, people are pretty much gone mentally. They're not paying attention to anything on social. So Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday are the best times on social to get attention. So I would just split those into 2 different shows, man.
And then Jim Fritzenmeyer asks, can you post right through StreamYard, or do you need to copy it to your laptop and then drip post to LinkedIn and YouTube?
Yeah, so for posting the short form content, you do have to download it to your computer and then post through LinkedIn. It's not like a social scheduling tool. But StreamYard will schedule the actual live event. So you go in there and say, I'm going to do a live event on this day. This is the image I want. Maybe it's your logo. Maybe it's something from your website as like the banner image or the thumbnail. And then the title, the copy, hashtags, that's all done through StreamYard. Then you click schedule it. It then pushes it to the platforms for the live event. But when you're talking about chopping up the content, you have to download that and then post it into LinkedIn. Here's the cool thing that LinkedIn made some changes. You don't have to have any sort of scheduling system. So like Hootsuite or even using HubSpot Social, you don't have to do that. In LinkedIn, you can create the post and say schedule for later and just pick a day and a time in advance, and you can schedule it up. So you don't have to use a third-party software to schedule that. You can do it from within LinkedIn and say, like, I'm going to post this on Thursday, do it all from within the platform.
See if there's a follow-up there. And Tim Drinkwater just says he loved the break video. It reminded me of something I wanted to do.
Yeah, Tim, that break video was dope. We did, what did we do? Day 1, day 2, day 4. And then we've got a video you guys are going to like that Riley just finished. He's got to make one little edit to it, but it's like a NPE hype video where it's taking multiple days. Some heavy editing went into it. How much time do you think you put into that video?
Well, I don't know overall, but yeah, it's good.
Like 6, 8 hours, 10 hours?
Probably, yeah.
Yeah, so that video that you just saw during the break, that took Riley probably 45 minutes maybe to create, 45 minutes to an hour. The video for the whole NPE recap that's no speaking parts, just a hype video from it, that took about 8 to 10 hours. You guys are going to like that. That's going to be super dope. We'll have to play that on maybe Thursdays live. That'll be our show opener or something. No follow-ups? That means that we're good to go. That means that I can get off of this, go eat some lunch before my next meeting. Guys, if you got value out of it, share it with someone that you know. Head over to YouTube, type in my name, subscribe to the channel, turn on notifications. We're posting 10, 20, 30 videos a week that are all about providing you guys with as much valuable content, stuff you can implement today to increase your leads, increase your pipeline, all of the above about industrial sales and marketing. Want to listen to it on a podcast platform? Every major podcast platform, type in industrial sales and marketing with me, and I will see you guys on the next one.